buddy. Oh, wait. Okay, no, it's not bug. Nice. Where are the Gleo poles? I mean, low key. I wouldn't say E0 Eggy, but E1 Eggy is still like really good for tackling endgame. But like, why would I pull on a character I can't spare any supports for? Doesn't really make sense.
Can you keep up? Let's not let one strike settle it all. Retreat your life.
Curse you? What'd I do? Dude, like, oh my goodness, man. Holy shit.
Nothing again.
It's me,
I move as the blade.
luminous energy. Heard of ever
Sleeps within me. Onward.
Ameth got nerf. Defense ignore changed to damage amp. I don't think that's a nerf. I mean, I could check, but let's see. Nah, AMS still does the exact same damage, basically. Field a Troon Goon Warrior. Solid of fur, you foul capybara. Chill, man. I'm just trying to have some good times.
Mandate cause. Fight. Too slow. No. Can you keep up?
What? I only got 3 echoes? What? Thank you, meds. I mean, yeah, it makes him more money, Sanders. I guarantee you right now, if I go to a video of him talking badly about Wua, it'll have less views than Arknight's Enfield drama videos. I can almost guarantee it. I'll quickly check. Yeah. So his reality of Enfield Gotcha from yesterday is his most popular video in what, the last week, the last month? Yeah, it's his most popular it's the most popular the last 2 weeks, yeah. I mean, and then let me see if he has anything for why the Annie was bad. Yeah, it's literally half the views when he talks about bad stuff about Wua. So, there you go. And even then, he still finds a way to glaze. Is it worth pulling for Ameth next patch if you don't have her best team? I mean, it just depends, man. I'd highly recommend you have Lene or Lupa. If you don't have either of those two, I mean, probably not. Just gonna be honest. In this game, a lot of DPSs are very, like, specific sub-DPS reliant. There's a few exceptions. Well, actually, no. Because even Fro... I mean, Fro just has versatility, but in her own main damage, like, you would prefer to have Kanta or QU1. Skipping Ameth for Galbrina. W. I'm doing the same. Oh, I found a gold one.
Let's not linger. Can you keep up?
Oh. I'm doing good, Dark. Hope you're doing well. I have guarantee Luke and will try for Galbrena. Good luck. Um, man, I wish Nightmare Echoes had like their own tacit field, dude. Fuck. What do I even farm? I guess I pre-farm for Mornai? I guess. For in the future.
Behold,
The entirety of 4.0 has been leaked. What do you mean you haven't seen any leaks? 4.0 has been leaked for a while.
your life is mine to take.
Yeah. I'll go crazy.
Behold,
I can definitely say bro's still using AI. I mean, yeah. Son. Not a single spectro damage bonus, really?
keep up.
You can tell he didn't play the game at all. He's not the only one. I purposely didn't name another creator who's smaller than me, who honestly made a more blasphemous video trying to defend Wuwa and compare to Hoyo's spending event. It's like, holy shit, man.
Onward.
Because, like, if someone's smaller than me, then they might get unnecessary hate. Because it is just gacha, but my god, man. You think Heisland's rerun will be worth? If you already have some part of the team, yeah. I mean, even if you don't, they're still one of the strongest teams in the game with some of the best early investment. Wait, did that give me any pulls or no? I have to wait until UL 70 to get pulls. Great. I've seen a 160 pull free to play number going around. No, that shit's fake. I made a community post about it, bro. Like you know what's so funny? This exact same thing happened on the Annie. When everybody complained about how rightfully dog shit it was, the defenders of this game instantly brought up the pull count, only to end up being disappointed when the official one came out. I literally went to the source of the person who made that poll estimate, and they say in their fucking thing, right? This is what they say. This is based off of guesstimations. it has a extremely highly chance of being wrong. But people are running away with that poll count across all social media thinking it's accurate and real. Oh my fucking god, man. Hello, Raj. Hope you're having a good day. No, when it comes to Woowa, you have to wait until preload for the poll count. That's how it works, until preload. Because that JP person basically just said this is based off of guesstimations completely. You know, they don't actually have a full idea of it. If it is accurate, though, that would be cool. I agree, Uni, but it's like... there's zero chance. I'm sorry, there's no way you can get me to believe they're giving basically 3.0 poll count on 3.1. Like, back to back. I'm not believing that. I believe 110 to 120. That is like a lot more in line with what is believable. I pulled Mornai in one single yesterday. Like, why can't I get this luck, man? Why couldn't I get it? How are you today? Doing pretty good, thank you. I saw 3.1 has 150. No, guys, no, no. Everybody's falling for this propaganda. I say 120 uni because of the veteran thing. Where like when you get 7,500 points, it gives you a 10 limited pull. But yeah, I'm also expecting like base 110, 115. Which is like, that's not bad. Like, you know, that's a solid amount of pulls. But if you look at like the average pulls per patch for Woowa, like that's average. That's just an average patch. It's not special. But there's so many people being like, oh my god, man, like this shit is about to be more I see people already spreading it. It's gonna be the highest pull patch since 1.0. I don't know about that one, man. I don't know. I didn't know that Mornai Lene and Fro has more DPS than Fro's actually premium team. Does it? I mean, I didn't know that shit either. That's true. Is pulling Sunday's Lycone worth it? I have Sunday, and I have Lycone Bronya S2, or just save for 4.x. I'd honestly just save for 4.x. Just wait for preload data mining? Yeah. And it's like, even then, even the preload calcs can sometimes be a little off. Like, for example, Gemberry, he's like the one that does the preload counts the quickest. And he is like kind of known for overestimating the pull count. Like, it's happened a lot at this point. For some reason, when it comes to people who do pull counts, they always overestimate instead of playing it safe with like something that is more realistic. I saw the Calix and Fro Premium was at 1.65 with Mornai Lene Fro being at 1.69 million. I mean, yeah, Lene Mornai is like the new Hyacine Tribute wheelchair. Like, literally, you can clear anything with that team. Like, every time I get I used to like watching, you know, like, 4-star DPS clears or, like, standard DPS clears against Double Pawns Matrix. But as of recent, every single good Double Pawns Matrix run, every time, I get baited for it. Because it's, like, it's so new. They pair, like, said DPS with just Lene Mornai. And then that's why the score is so high. There's every single like older, more washed DPS, people just run with Lene Mornai, and then they get a good score and make a video off it. It's like, I know, man, I know. Woo a wheelchair, yeah. There's no Woo power creep. I mean, it's like Woo's power creep is slower. I know there's a lot of people that say this game has no power creep because they just don't know the definition of it. Like, I don't know. But, like, this game does have power creep. It's just slower. Like, it's good. You know, sequence investments. Shit.
Onward.
I mean, there's some characters where going into sequence investment is kind of trash, though. Like, Ameth. Her S0 to S2 jump, I legit just wouldn't bother going into her sequences for the early Koros. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, everybody compares every single time as a cope when people want to say their game is like not predatory, no power creep, is they compare it to HSR, which is like one of the worst cases in the entire space, at least mainstream wise. It's like, oh, our game is better than HSR, so uh, no power creep, no HP inflation. Did they say during live stream they are updating Double Pawn's Matrix and adding a shop like TOA? To be honest, I did not even pay attention to that because I don't care about Double Pawn's Matrix. I treat Double Pawn's Matrix like I treat AA and HSR. It's like it never crosses my mind even once. And like maybe if the transducers were better, I would consider an Double Pawn's Matrix if they like put it in there as a reward, but nah. The second I hear Double Pawn's Matrix, shit goes one ear out the other. Well, yeah, because that goes against the agenda. Why bring up HSR's free 5 stars? It goes against the agenda, my friend. Easy Weewa clears. I mean, Weewa does have easy clears solely because of the plunderer abuse with healers. So, like, Weewa does have a real argument for, like, if you learn how to play the Brat team, and then you just spam healing ticks, lingering tunes, echo set, electro damage bonus, like, you can get 3 to 4k pretty consistently with that team. So, you only need to get, like, 1k, maybe 2k points on another team, and you're good for max rewards. Like, we was the only one that has this, though. TOA and Double Pawns Matrix don't really have this cheese. The closest is that there's a bug with Barangol currently, where if you Toon Break him with a sword or Broadblade user, he automatically gets like 3 or 4 vulnerability stacks. But that is going to be removed in the next Double Pawns Matrix, so. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Not only are people using like wheelchair to make the older DPS seem more impressive, but they always make sure it's on Barangol because of that bug. Because you just get an insane amount of vulnerability on him quick as shit. HSR had to give free Dan Heng PT? No, they didn't. You said this last time, Tactician, and then I remember doing AA with Gallagher and my Cassie team with Hyacine. They didn't need to give anything. Like, let's be honest. They just gave that shit. Saying need is for sure something. Never knew there was a trick like that. If you use a sword or broadblade user to Tomb Break Barangol in the current Double Pawns Matrix, he gets max stacks of vulnerability. If you do it with anyone else, you only get 1 stack. Isn't it similar to HSR players using modern supports to clear with seal? Yeah. Free Archer and Dan Heng PT are more worth than Wuwa spending event in that reroll thing. I mean, that's not even a hot take. That's like the coldest take ever. Like, yeah, I could find that take in Antarctica.
Let's not linger.
I don't think EMC will be a support. He'll probably be a sustain. We have Destruction MC, who is DPS. We have Preservation MC, who is obviously a shielding sustain, but he's complete dog shit now. We have HMC and RMC, who are both buffers. So they'd probably pivot to making him a sustain again, but this time healing. And it fits with Yai too. Because as far as we know, if what Anon leak said was true, and 4.1 is only 1 character, and it ends up being La Mancha, there won't be an Elation sustain for the entirety of the first half of version 4. Unless they make Elation MC a sustain. Which is why I think it makes 100% the most sense. It's also like Sparksy's Trace requires 3 Elation characters. So you have to assume that, you know, if there's no sustain in 4.1 and EMC isn't a sustain, Sparksy main DPS won't be able to take full advantage of her Elation Trace for over half a year. I just don't see that happening. And it's unlikely that they'd replace Buff Sparkle that quickly. Especially with fucking free Elation MC. Nah, Varka I've heard is actually dog shit as compared to a bunch of other characters. Like you guys need to understand this entire power creep and being on the same level of strength as other characters are two completely different things. And like people kind of need to understand this. I really don't like it when like for example, you have one team that's at the absolute pinnacle and then you have another DPS who's like 70 to 80%, maybe even less of the DPS of that pinnacle team. And then people say the ones who want buffs for said character are like asking for power creep, right? This logic applied to the Phenon mains during his beta because they were literally begging for Phenon to be stronger than Cassie without any of his best in slot teammates, which was so egregious. But if there's already multiple examples of teams stronger than you,
Let's not let
then come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like imagine if Luke did 2.x, if not less DPS level, and then you had Ameth hitting like this 2.2 milli damage per rotation number, right? Like just imagine that. Like would that not annoy people? Like obviously, because it's clearly preferential treatment. Yeah, exactly, Uni. Like that's basically how the Phenon mains were, except like to be honest, from what I saw from the cart mains, Phenon mains were 10 times worse. Worst beta I've ever had to go through. Dude, tactician, you for the last 3 days in a row of my streams, you've been repeating the same argument of HSR did Sunday dirty. This same shit applies to Woowa, okay? Like, we can get over it, man. I have pulled Sunday on all of my accounts, and I've already moved on. I mean, he's probably going to get buffed eventually. But this same shit applies to Woo. Like, let's be honest, man. It's shitty nonetheless. It was funny watching Gabby mood shift every time Cypher got any or no changes. Well, it's like, okay, the reason I was mad about Cypher was because of Hyacine. They're releasing on the same patch. One is a healer. One is a so-called sub DPS for follow-up. Or, you know, whatever. And the healer does more damage than the sub DPS. That is why I was mad. I could just tell the Cassie shilling was so bad. And it really fucking rubbed me the wrong way. Like, Cypher really isn't the biggest buff in the world for follow-up teams. And she is for sure better than Jiao for Acheron. But it's like, even then, I just don't think it was big enough. Like, she wasn't a Dahlia for sure. That's what I'll say. Dahlia, the way they made Dahlia was 10 times better than whatever the fuck they did with Cypher. Cypher damage comes from ulti. It's not her own damage. We're not doing this. It's not her own damage output. It doesn't count. It's fully recorded damage from teammates. If you have weak teammates, she'll do minuscule damage. If you have super strong DPSs, then they probably don't even want Cypher on their team because they prefer better pure buffing. Like, it's not her own sub DPS. If you look at the amount of damage on Cypher's ult, that's her own, it's like fucking nothing. It's just all stolen damage. Cypher with Phanon is nuts. It's not nuts. It's just good. It's decent. It's not even in probably his top 3 teams. Do you think Heislands was a better reviver than Dahlia? In the sense that Dot was in a way worse spot than even Break without Dahlia, and then Dot became as strong as it did, yes. But I still think Dahlia is a better character solely because she is a super break enabler. Like, you can make anybody a super break DPS. It legit doesn't fucking matter. Anybody in the game can be a super break DPS and clear with Dahlia, which is why her value, in my opinion, is way higher. But for what Heislands does specifically for the Dot team, I mean, yeah. I mean, they're very close. They're very close.
Let's not linger.
Cypher's only good in Archer teams. I mean, even then, it's like Cypher isn't even always the best in slot for Archer. There's like certain times where you can use Tribby or you can use Silverwolf equal to Cypher. Cypher is for sure the comfort pick because she doesn't require really any optimization. But like, you know, she's not crazy best in slot. Like if it weren't for Yao Guang getting nerfed a little bit for like general use recently, there would have also been Yao Guang, who's like on the same level on the 3rd slot for Archer. Like it just doesn't mean much, man. Cypher really got the short end of the stick from the entirety of version 3 probably. As a support, it's probably the weakest link.
Let's not linger.
I got a 4 cycle with DPS Gallagher this MOC. Nice. Cypher might age pretty well. She kind of scales hard off of investment. No. 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 Stop saying this, please. People don't understand how she works. She doesn't scale off of DPSs. Well, she does, but she doesn't get any more value from DPSs being stronger. It stays the same. It's stagnant. It doesn't matter. The stronger DPSs become and the more true damage she can record, the bigger of a difference normal support buffs make for the DPS's damage anyways. It's always going to be the same value. Don't fall for this misconception, boys. She does not increase in value the stronger DPSs become.
Let's not linger.
Cypher's value is just being able to optimize damage and bosses that have cancerous stages. See, that I don't disagree with. That's like her main advantage, especially that Zero Cyclers like, is that they can basically ignore some second phase of a boss that might have like damage reduction on it or something, right? Like people use this a lot for Archer Flame Reaver clears a while back. But that's basically her only selling gimmick in all honesty. Because pure buffing, she just loses to like almost every other, recent support. But like if a boss doesn't have a bullshit gimmick, or if anything, for example, you go against Lygus, right? And Lygus actually puts vulnerability on himself, and you use a Cypher ult, the damage won't be amplified by his vulnerability. So it'll actually be weaker to use Cypher as compared to... Like, it's so situational. It is pretty situational to take advantage of it. Yeah, she can't record true damage either. So if you try to run her while you're running alongside like an RMC buffing your TPS with true damage, a good chunk of your damage isn't being recorded. She can't record elation damage? Don't know. Haven't bothered looking at that. Because I don't have Cypher, nor do I care. HSR is a team game. The fact that you can swap Archer's teammates depending on the situation and she is part of said teammates is good enough? Hell no. What? Dude, do you think everybody's rich? Like, if there are multiple other third slot options, many of who have way stronger general value like Tribby as compared to Cypher, why would you go into Cypher? Even if you make the argument that there are some situations where Cypher may make Archer clear one cycle faster as compared to using Tribby, that is not worth pulling her in the slightest. Like, you have to assume everybody has all these teammate options, and so they can splurge on Cypher for Archer. Like, it's just not worth it, is the thing. This game has 50-50, 90 hard pity, no guarantee on the Lycone banner. Like, it just ain't worth it getting a side grade. Only if you want to min-max? I mean, if you want to min-max, maybe. But it's like, also, there's better investments you can make for Archer now that aren't Cypher. So if you want to min-max, there's Sparkle. And then there's her E2 and E1, which is an attack buff, pretty significant, and 32% defense ignore. So you wouldn't even go to Cypher for min-maxing Archer. You'd go straight to E2 Sparkle. You went from 666K to 669K? Yeah, it's because of the drama videos. Don't worry, the sub count will stop flowing in because I'm not going to make any more drama videos for an hour. At least I don't plan to. It gives good views, it gives good subs, but man, is it miserable. It's an entire rabbit hole I don't want to fall into. I just get so frustrated at times with like hypocrisy in this space that I end up making videos like that, and I always regret it afterwards. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm 6K, not literally 600K. Cypher's hot. Have you considered that? I mean, yeah, then you can pull for her. It's a character you like. I'm not saying you can't. It's just like meta wise, like there's really nowhere she goes. Like the thing with Ruan Mei, a big reason why I glaze Ruan Mei as much as I do these days isn't just because of her general value, right? Like that plays a part, similar to Cypher. But Ruan Mei has been given free. Cypher is something that people have to go out of their way to spend their limited pulls on, which completely changes my perspective. Because HSR is in their they're in their woowa bag with niche support since probably V3 and a few select case scenarios in V2. So, with that being the case, I can no longer hold the same perspective as I used to. I mean, he makes money low poly. That's probably why he does it. Like, he's getting at least 20 plus K views on every video, and he's pushing out like 3 or 4 videos every single day. Like, he's dead ass making thousands at the minimum. Easily thousands every single month. This doesn't include possible sponsors, shit like that. Just strictly off ads. And he's built an entire audience off of the Wua tribalism. Like, this is a thing a lot of you don't understand, and why a lot of these creators won't go back on things. It's not even that they don't realize they're wrong. 90% of the time they do. But if they take accountability and actually change their perspective to be more honest and open about these games, their viewer base drops by at least half. At least for a few months to a year. Because their community was used to the Wua tribalism. It's just how it goes. They'll probably be like, oh, how could you betray us? Now you're just like the Hoyo shills. Shit like that. Horrible way to build a community? I mean, you can say that, but it worked. I really don't disagree. This is why I get mad with the hypocrisy shit. I don't even get mad that they're getting a bag. I just hate how much misinfo is spread once a creator gets big enough. And like, it's so bad the damage it does to these gacha communities. And they just don't care because they make so much money. And they'll keep saying the shit they do because it makes them more money. Like, but the reality is, there are like so many people that would do exactly what Saint does. He doesn't have to put in any effort. He doesn't really have to put in any work. Get an editor, spout whatever opinions you have that every other game is worse than Wua, and how Wua is way better than the rest of the competition. Make thousands and thousands of dollars every month. I just can't blame him. I hate it. I can't blame him. It's free money. Like he never even needs to work ever again, probably. Yeah.
Let's not linger.
Yeah, Naruto. Also, it's like I myself will rarely go to see his videos. Like I haven't watched the same video in months until recently because I wanted to see how he would twist this entire shit and so I could make my own video on it, right? Because if Saint had fully taken the hit, if most of these Wua CCs had fully taken the hit on the spending event and just been fully real about it, there would have been no videos from me. I'm being dead ass. Like I made sure to watch their videos fully so I wouldn't lie on their names or slander them and you know out of rage, out of emotion, right? But they didn't. Like they can't take the hit. They have to constantly compare, bring some else up every single time. So, got to make a video on it. But if it weren't for that, like I never watched these creators. They're so miserable, man. It's like they're constantly trying their hardest to make themselves feel like proud that they play Wua over other games. And so the lengths they go to and the mental gymnastics that they do to for Wua to be way better literally no matter what they do is just absolute insanity. Like there's no point in even entertaining it. Like I want you guys to be aware of this. I'm gonna be completely honest. When I first got into the gacha space, my the gacha CC I watched the most was Tectone. During the Genshin era, it fully made sense why it was that he was being so critical of all this shit. And he had the Staff of Homa incident, right? But over time, he became much more aggressive for smaller reasons and starting drama with a ton of CCs. So I started watching him less and less and less to the point where I completely stopped watching him once he started Wua tribalism. Like that's when I completely stopped watching creators like this. Once they moved on to other games, and then I saw like, because keep in mind, he used to glaze HSR 24/7. It has the best story in Gacha. It has a way better banner system than Genshin. This shit's peak. I love Penacony. Like he glazed HSR 24/7. But when he moved to Wua, he then double backed on his glaze for HSR and said, though, you know, oh, Penacony was mid, right? Story was mid. Game had absolutely nothing to do. This shit is way better than this is when I woke up. This is when I realized, oh fuck, I've been getting played this entire time. These people are just playing tribalism and moving to different games every single time to make as much money and farm as much engagement. Like they are not as honest as I thought they were. And so from then on, I just stopped watching these types of CCs. Who are we talking about? Tectone. And just in general, like CCs who kind of build communities off of tribalism for games. And why I don't watch them anymore. Tectone was like the beginning of me coming to the realization of that shit. A lot of us went through the same thing you did. I mean, yeah. And obviously, Genshin was fucking massive at the time, and they did have a lot of things like wrong with it. And it was like, Tectone was one of the few CCs speaking out about it. So I was like, yeah, man, for the player, because that used to be one of his sayings all the time. It's like for the player, for the player. No, I agree, Alum. I agree. It like I know you guys don't care. You guys probably haven't watched it, but I'll just tell you right now. I did watch Gotcha Smack's live stream and his reaction to, the spending event and everything. And for some reason, I don't know why, they just invited Saint. I mean, hey, that's their own thing. But at one point, Saint says that Wuwa's spending event has better rewards than HSR's because he's trying to get Gotcha Smack to, talk good about Kuro and stop slandering them. So he says the Wuwa spending event has better rewards as compared to HSR's, which makes it less predatory. However, when he realizes that Smack doesn't care about this, he then immediately pivots just a little shorter later on to the Wuwa spending event has way less important rewards and therefore it makes it less predatory as compared to HSR. And then Smack actually liked that. Literally, within bro. He does not believe what he says. He just lies out of his mouth. Nothing is fucking truth. Oh yeah, exotic. Do HSR and Genshin have their own version of Saint? No. Maybe Genshin. I won't speak on the Genshin CC space. The HSR CC space has the opposites of Saints. And by this I mean people who are just incredibly critical of absolutely everything HSR does. I haven't seen a single like Saint like HSR content creator in my life, and I put that on God. I've never seen it, man. Almost all the biggest HSR creators are people who are insanely critical of the game. It's the complete opposite. Flo pulled the on God because I'm being dead serious. It's like in this Wuwa space, I have seen so many CCs like to try to build communities off of this tribalism shit. I have never seen it once for HSR. Despite the fact HSR is way older and I've been in the HSR community for way longer. Like it's insane the disparity. If there's one thing we love in HSR community, it's Doom posting. Yeah. And it's like I myself built my HSR channel off of so-called Doom posting, right? Like when I first got into HSR content creation, the majority of my content was calling out the predatory tactics, the HP inflation, the power creep, reliance on certain characters, like banner placements and shit. Like that was the majority of my content at the beginning before I really started like covering leaks and shit and prioritizing leaks. It was that stuff. It's the complete opposite in HSR. The community is fully aware that they're being scammed by playing a gacha game, and they're extremely critical about it. Sometimes too much, but in my opinion, it's way better than Wuwa. Like this Wuwa CC space in a lot of ways. It's the complete opposite in Wuwa. It's toxic positivity, and people who are critical or maybe even overly critical of the game in a lot of people's eyes, they get an immense amount of hate. Did you play Enfield? It just wasn't for me, man. It was so well optimized. Character designs are amazing. Um, I liked it, but I could just tell instantly there's no way I'd vibe with the factory system, so I dropped it. No, no, I just don't want to add another game flow gun. It's fine. Playing Enfield's like a job, yeah. It just ain't for me. I also hope like one of these days, I wish Bleach Soul Resonance was on PC so people could understand, right? Like, I play Hoyo games the least. There's still so many people who think I'm like some HSR shill or some Hoyo. Brother, I have played Wuwa religiously, Lahai Roy. I've gotten near 100% exploration on all maps on 2 different accounts. And then on top of this, I've been playing Bleach Soul Resonance and glazing it 24/7. If any, I am a Bleach shill, a Newverse shill, which is the company that made Bleach Soul Resonance. And I play Wuwa more than the Hoyo games. People somehow do not understand this. We don't know yet. Wait until preload. So for you guys to understand why it is my expectations you may think are high and I'm not impressed by shit that Wuwa does, in Bleach Soul Resonance, the free-to-play pull income per patch, and this is a low ball, is around 150 pulls, right? In every banner, it's about 70 to 75. Why does this matter? In that game, there is no 50-50, and it's a max of 80 pity on the character banner. There's no 50-50 on the weapon banner either, but wait, it's only 40 pity. So guess what? I am a low spender who has only bought monthly pass and battle pass. I have 4 characters, the last 4 limited characters released in this game, in a row. I have them with their weapon. I have one with a dupe. And I currently have more than half the pity towards another guaranteed character right now. Right? Meaning I can guarantee the next character if I wanted to as well. I could guarantee every character with their weapon spending $15 on this game. Did you play Bleach Brave Souls? No. How many pulls you got saved? None. It's all in the pity. And keep in mind, I haven't even maxed out the pulls you can get in this patch. I haven't maxed out my Frenzy Feast. I haven't yet done my like Divergent Universe equivalent in the game, which is like another pull, and obviously some standard pulls as well. Like, it's so good, man. Is this the Bleach Glaze segment? Yes. Yeah, exactly, Leon. And it's so, so good. So fucking good. Make more Bleach content? It doesn't have a PC port. And I really just don't like using an emulator. That's the problem. I play it on mobile. What is the gameplay? Obviously graphics wise it isn't the same, and at least right now we don't have any aerial characters. It's probably most similar to Wuwa because there is quick swap in the game. There's quick swap, there's max 3 characters, and you can really get freaky with the rotations and minimize or maximize as much damage as possible. But it also has an auto battle for those who fucking blow at the game, especially because it's more like ZZZ. No, I don't think it's like Z. I mean, nah, it's not really like ZZZ. The more I've played the game, at first I said ZZZ, but now with how much quick swap is available on characters and like constant switching and insta using abilities on one character than swapping, it reminds me a lot more of Wuwa gameplay. What's similar to ZZZ is that the enemies have a certain bar, and then when you deplete that bar, they have like some time frame of maybe like 10, 15 seconds where they take massively increased damage. That is similar to a lot of ZZZ enemies, for sure. But in terms of actual like combat with the characters, it feels more similar in my opinion to like Wuwa. They think you're a Hoyo show because you spend like 80% of streams calling out Wuwa and their CCs. I mean, can you fucking blame me, man? Trust me, if HSR had fucking a bunch of saints and Tectone disciples, like I'd be doing the same shit for HSR. Don't get it fucking twisted. But HSR CC space just doesn't have like dude, the closest I've seen of someone who like overglazes HSR is maybe Meek. That's literally the closest I've seen in years. Everybody else is like so critical of the game, which is perfect. Like that's the best thing possible. Of course, sometimes it can go a little too far, and I may disagree, but it's better to be overly critical than it is to be like overly positive, in my opinion. I'll start the game when they drop Aizen. My friend. They kind of already dropped Aizen. He's on my account right now. Oh yeah, another thing I should mention. In Bleach Soul Resonance, it takes a while to build up to it, but because the standard pity for the weapon banner is so small, it's actually, a decent thing you can do. If you dismantle the weapons of standard characters, you can use that currency to upgrade limited weapons. So I did this on my Aizen. I got my Aizen a second weapon dupe by dismantling standard weapons I didn't need. You get 100 pulls a patch. In Bleach, no, you get like 150. 140, 150, I'd say is like a low ball. Every single banner, you get like 70 or 80 free to play. But that's why, like, no matter what Wuwa or any other game does, unless Wuwa just fucking goes, devs listen moment and makes the weapon banner guaranteed and gives more pull income, which they obviously aren't going to do. Like, or sorry, if they make the character banner guaranteed. Like nothing can impress me. Bleach Soul Resonance has already impressed me beyond belief at this point. The way they make money, by the way, is that they sell a lot of really good bundles. It's actually like kind of similar to Wuwa's monetization, but their monetization is stronger, right? It's better. The monthly pass technically gives you a little more per month in pulls, but also gives you like an extra 60 energy. They also have like the equivalent of some of these, packs over here, stuff like that. So they make it really enticing. But you can guarantee every character in existence as a low spender. So that's mainly for people who probably want to go for dupes. Yeah, Hoyo Shield has lost its meaning. It's just a buzzword people use. People, when it first was like conceived, the term Hoyo Shield, people actually used it accurately, but over time it just got watered down to the point people use it as a buzzword usually whenever someone is saying something critical towards like a Wuwa game or something. Like you'll rarely ever see Hoyo Shield actually used correctly anymore. People just spam that shit whenever anyone says anything about like a Kuro game. Actually, no, I say Wuwa. Nobody is attacking PGR. No, nobody is attacking PGR, bro. I mean, even Saint Tonetaz himself attacks PGR. He's strictly a Wuwa bot. I completely agree, Exotic. I've been saying this for literal years. Like, obviously, nobody wants to go out of their way to do it. But if you go back to my first streams on Wuwa and shit from way, way back, I've been saying for the fucking longest, even whilst playing HSR, that Wuwa is like my favorite game I'm playing, and I think it's the best in the market objectively. But I find the community completely fucking embarrassing. It's the same way I felt about One Piece. Now, these days, low key, people are coming a lot more around in the One Piece fandom and realizing that like Oda isn't some omniscient writer. But like I don't even, interact really with the One Piece fandom at all, even though it's probably my favorite anime of all time. It's the same way I feel about Wuwa, man. Don't newer, less successful gachas have less predatory gacha systems? Bleach Soul Resonance made more money than Wuwa in its first month. What do you mean? Or it made near the same money, but it didn't count the full sales from Aizen, if I remember correctly, which would have put it above Wuwa, because it released on a little later. So, no. Aizen is released? Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Aizen already got released. He was the third limited character to be released. First it was Bankai Ichigo, then it was Toshiro, and then it was Aizen. They'll obviously like release different forms of the characters in the future, but I don't think we're getting an Aizen anytime soon.
Let's not linger.
You skipped the chest? Oh, whoops. Wuwa CCs became like Hoyo Shills? Low key, yeah, that's the best way to put it. But like the thing is, I don't even like to say, like it's only Wuwa CCs. Like to be honest, here's the pattern I've recognized among like a majority of CCs that do this. Dude, they suck at Wuwa. Like it's hard to even say Wuwa community because right, they use Wuwa's name, they glaze Wuwa, They bring down other games. They suck at WUWA. Commonly, they barely play WUWA. They just use its name to slander other games. I came to this realization. Like, every single person I've seen or known that has made content on WUWA, and it's like mainly this drama shit, I almost see never any gameplay content from them. Or they straight up admit they don't play the game that often or are complete buns. Like, they just use the name to slander for engagement.
Let's not linger.
Yeah. Oh, really, Guardian? That's nice. They just do it for the views? Oh, 100%. But it's like, it goes to show you they aren't even real WUWA players. Not really. They just do it for the views. They do it for the engagement. Makes more money. Catches more people's attention. That's how it goes. Wait, low key, isn't this like, it's become a trend to use this term. Isn't this just LARPing or whatever? I, like the way people use LARPing would work in this exact same way recently. Like, they don't really play the game. They don't really know fuck all. They act like they do, or they admit but they just use the name and talk about it as if they're knowledgeable on something. Like, they aren't knowledgeable though. Like, that's the thing. I literally changed my Fortnite name to LARP LARP Zohor. I just seen people spamming that shit, man. Have you been playing Where Winds Meet lately? Not really. I don't pretend to be knowledgeable on WUWA. I mean, I'm not all knowledgeable either. But like, when I say knowledgeable, I just mean like, I don't know, like above average, adept. Like, for example, if someone comes in here asking for quick swap shit, like, I don't do quick swap. But if someone comes in here asking about teams, weapon jumps, you know, sequences, character strength, their max potential versus whatever, like, kind of that. It's the same thing in HSR, right? Like, I can tell someone how to make a character really strong, how strong characters may be, you know, their possible future value, but I can't do the shit HOS does. Like, there's no way, bro. At least I probably could, but I don't want to. Do you 100% WUA map tracker wise or you get all the chest? Almost. Not Lahai Roy. Lahai Roy still have like some stuff. I mean, 90%, 99%, 97%. And then this is, I think, the far left of the map. I haven't bothered with. But like, even Renacida, I don't have everything 100%. Eventually, if like for Galbrena, because I plan to use the new standard weapon for her, the standard pistol, I'll end up going out of my way to do this because once you hit 100%, you get standard pulls. But I did do the rest. I did the rest, and then these two I slacked off on because it's like I already got Q on.
Let's not linger.
What do we think about S1 Mornai future value? Eh. It's like Dees for WUA standards. But like if you're already using a Toon Break team with Mornai, it doesn't really matter. In non-Toon Break teams, maybe. For a few of them. But in an actual Toon Break team, I wouldn't even bother. Like, let's say you're running, I don't know, Hyper Carry Brant with Lupa Mornai. Like, yeah, maybe the S1 would be decently worth it there. But then it's like Brant's sequences are better to get if that's what you're looking for. It really just depends on the person. Oh, for sure, Senku. Burnout is like the biggest thing with these open world games. I mean, Lupa's sequences are trash. Obviously, Brant's if you're running him hyper carry. Should I get Mornai plus Ameth or Ameth plus weapon? I mean, you could go either or. Ameth has a second team with negative status if you don't want to use the Toon Break team with her, but like her sig jump is like 22-23%. Mainly because they nerfed it. I mean, that's good. I still have my money on Ameth's negative status team being stronger than the Toon Break one. I think this is obvious, but it is just my own speculation, so not confirmed.
Let's not linger.
Chisa Coopers are with you. I don't even think it's because of Chisa, though. It's going to be because of her Fusion Burst sub DPS, who's probably going to provide more than Lene. At least specifically, you know, versus. I love Cosmo ZR. From what I've seen, isn't that guy also like a hardcore robot? At first I watched his videos and I thought he was being ironic, but then I realized he was being unironic. Like he was defending, I remember, shit about WUWA. I just realized all of Tactician's favorite CCs are CCs that are completely known for being biased towards WUWA and shitty towards Hoyo. Like, Tact, bro. We gotta do better, man. I mean, I'm not here to stop someone else from watching whoever they watch, I guess, but shit's insane.
Let's not linger.
Tactician. He wasn't trolling when yesterday in stream he said make a video and talk about me. Let people know who the #1 Kurobot is. He's such a troll, bro. I can't. uh... What if Ameth gets 2 new teammates from her negative status team? Nah, it doesn't really make sense. I think they'd keep Chisa, at least for now. I mean, she could. Okay, the only reason why I could possibly see they actually make a Chisa replacement is because Chisa, for God knows whatever reason, is only 1 Vigor in Double Pawn's Matrix, unlike the other healers. So if you have multiple negative status teams, you just gotta say fuck it, and like one of them can't have Chisa, right? And there's obviously gonna be more in the future, which makes me suspicious that they plan on releasing another 3rd slot at some point, but that's speculation. Fusion Burst sub DPS I think is like a guarantee. 3rd slot replacing Chisa is a little bit more unclear.
Let's not linger.
I forgot Cosmos used to make random anime clips. I wonder why he switched to farming bots. You guys really don't understand, like you guys don't understand just how insanely easy it is to build a channel off of Wua Glaze and tribalism. Like, you guys really don't understand, man. You are underestimating it way too much. It is so easy to make a successful channel off of that. Well, successful, I mean, like, you know, make maybe thousands of dollars every month, quickly grow.
Let's not linger.
Like, I brought this up in a stream before. I have made like 900 plus more videos since that video. Go to my channel and sort it by popular and tell me what my most popular video is of all time, in which there's no editing, not even background music. It's just me yapping, right? What is the most popular video on my channel of all time? And keep in mind, I made that shit at the very beginning of my channel. I had like less than 1,000 subs at the time. Like barely any people knew about me or followed me. That shit just banged. And by the way, I stand by that video. I stand by it. Like, it truly ruined Genshin for me, the experience. But like, it just goes to show you, it is so easy to make views, to make a community, to make a channel off of Wua Glaze and Hoyo Hate. It's so goddamn easy. Oh, really, Sanders? Making anything on Genshin gets views. I mean, anything that's Hoyo hate at all, especially HSR with how much more popular it is now. I'm not the only one who feels this way, by the way. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of other people, obviously, in like the Lua community that are sick of like these CCs and who really play the game. I mean, I think Rin is already like a really good example of this. Rin doesn't make videos on it because he doesn't want to attract a community of, you know, people who are really like drama based, right? And will come into his comments, you know, ask him and talk about this, talk about that, like some of my comments do. So he doesn't make videos on it, but his hatred is deep for a lot of people who like just use Wua's name to slander other games. It runs very deep. Ren is great, oh for sure. I've seen his channels popping off like crazy now with Enfield. I'm so happy for him. Like he's been on the fucking grind for this shit for so long. Like Wua, he had good Wua videos for sure, but the problem was he wasn't there at the big boom of Wua, right? Like Renacida, that's when it would have been the best time for a CC to get in, either on Renacida or on the launch of Wua, right? So he came later, which led to his Wua videos not gaining the most of traction, which he told me himself, right? And like it's kind of disappointing. But Arknight's Enfield gave him this opportunity. He put in the work. Holy shit, I think he put like 100 plus hours into the closed beta test, and now his shit is popping off. I'm so happy for him. I watch CCs that have eyes and common sense. I mean, sure, bro. Sure. Yeah, he puts in the work. Yeah, like he tries to get videos that most other, because the gotcha CC space, including me, by the way, I 100% include myself in this, is filled with lazy people. Most of us don't like challenging ourselves. He's really one of the few who goes out of his way to try and like master his craft and make, you know, very unique videos that people might click on, right? Like for example, his world record on clearing Lua TOA as fast as possible. Like he practiced with Don Jin for a long time on his main account before starting the speed run. He puts in the effort. Yeah. Yeah, that Anton clear that he got in Shiyu that he spent a lot of time on. I hate when people talk about pulls on Wua, they put standard. Yeah, I don't know either. Like it's really weird. Like in HSR they count standard pulls, but they don't count standard pulls towards the total pull count. It's only Wua where for God knows whatever reason they include standard pulls with the limited pulls, and then people genuinely think they're getting like 160 limited. It's like you can't even make the argument of, oh, it's because the standard pulls in this game they have the standard weapon banner. Like it just doesn't matter. In so many case scenarios, are the sig jumps still basically equivalent to like HSRs compared to 4-star, despite the existence of standard weapons? So even if you make that argument, it doesn't really, you know, just put them separately, man. I'm interested in listening to Yap Slop. Hey, this is the perfect channel for Yap Slop, I guess.
Let's not linger.
Just wait for a preload, Pranjal. There's nothing at all. Like I can't say the pull count, man. You have to wait until preload. It's not even that far away. Let me see. Yeah, it's like less than a week away before we get preload. And we can predict the pull count. Probably a few days. Yap Slop, Reaction Slop. I kind of made a rule for myself that I won't make reaction videos to other CCs. Because I feel like a lot of the time that shit can just like lead to hate. If, for example, I have a disagreement or something. Like, I used to do it. At the very beginning of my channel, I used to do it. But I kind of realized, like, that's not what I'm going for. You know what I'm saying? And then I went down the leaks route. And, like, no offense. I mean, there's no reason for anybody to take offense. But making leaks content, talking about the actual game, character value, you know, things going on. Like, it's so much more fun and so much more calm. Even if it gets less views, even if it makes me less money. As the hobby itself, it's just so much more fun talking about shit going on in a game. Right? Than it is talking about, oh, I haven't played Genshin in a year, but guess what they just did, right? Columbina ruined the scaling of this game. Genshin is going down a horrible, predatory route. They've already been on this path for years. I didn't think it could get any worse, but somehow it has, right? Like, I'm not gonna make a video like that, dude. That shit sounds completely fucking miserable. I don't even fucking play the game. I've gotten triple S on every Weewa since its release. Nice. Well, I wouldn't say Double Pawn's Matrix exotic. And even TOA can be annoying sometimes when enemies have res, but TOA for sure is still clearable pretty well. Nothing gets the adrenaline pumping when I see rotation list calculus spreadsheets. W. It's pretty hard for me to clear TOA. I mean, yeah, I know. It's because of the amount of teams it requires. Most people, when they play Wua, they don't really bother building the 4 stars. So, like, they probably use a few of their limited characters on side towers or the first middle towers. And then they run out of actual, like, juicy units to tackle the last 2 floors. So, don't worry, I have this exact same issue. I'm just waiting till I get Glob. And then I'm also, like, on the side building Donjin. And then I'll probably be able to full clear. I'd have to say, before all the TOA changes and HP inflation and Weewa HP inflation and Double Pawn's Matrix, I had always said Weewa had the easiest endgame of every game I've played if you're like a new player, right? Like if you log in, you build up an account, you'd probably clear Weewa the fastest. I think at this current point in time, it may be, well, it depends if you include Anomaly Arbitration actually. If you include Anomaly Arbitration, I mean, it doesn't have any premium currency, but if you do, not HSR. But if you don't include AA, HSR is probably the fastest. Because you get like 400 to 500 pulls at this point in the game. from being a new player, I think Dan Heng PT is still free as well. Like, you just get 1 DPS, 2 DPS, hit level, Trailblaze 60, so you can max out your characters and you'll clear because of the shilling. Easy peasy. They don't give you free Archer anymore. Free Archer is gone now, I think. But Dan Heng PT is still free, I'm pretty sure. And maybe Sirene's golden token. I don't know. Bruh, yeah. Archer was only claimable free up until 3.7. So he had like 4 patches of being claimable free. And then it just disappeared. GG's. I mean, HSR will never EOS. I don't want to start Gacha War or anything, but like, I'm pretty sure what was called the worst patch ever sales wise for HSR in the entirety of Amphorius being Dahlia, I still think it did better than Wuwa on the revenue charts. Like, that game is never EOSing, dude. It's never happening.
Let's not linger.
HSR made more money than Genshin in 2025? Yeah, they did. No, it was the worst for Amphorius Infinity. I don't think all time, maybe. I mean, I can probably check. Let's see. What's that one Reddit where they always post the fucking... Oh yeah, Gotcha Gaming. Okay, yeah. So, Dahlia HSR made 27 million and Wuwa made 23 million. I think this is Chisa and a little bit of Linnae in 3.0. And that's HSR's worst selling patch in the last year. Oh yeah, these gacha games make copious amounts of money. I talked about this with Silver Palace and like how it kind of annoyed me. The game felt really fucking good. It feels like a solo player game, but then you just have gacha slapped on there for like God knows what reason. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not linger.
Like, people really only add gacha to these games because they're able to make so much more money off of it long term. I mean, you need to understand, Reaper, when people talk about HSR character strength, 90% of the time they're like biasly thinking of 0 cycles. Get used to it, man. I don't disagree that Saber isn't, you know, she's for sure like one of the weakest, if not the weakest DPS from version 3, but like she still clears. I was thinking either Saridra or Heislands would have done worse in revenue. Hell no. For one, that's a double banner patch. And for two, Saridra was actually pretty hyped, and people really like Mommy Heislands. Also, Dahlia is only one new limited character, unlike two new limited characters, so. And she's for break, which is like. How much did Cyrene make? If I remember correctly, Cyrene made like nearly 100 million. All the main pushes have hit 100 million or near 100 million. Oh wait, actually, I can see it. I can see it right now. Let me see. I can just go back to the exact same post because it shows the previous revenue and the drop off. So HSR with Cyrene made 81 million. And that is not the entire length, by the way, because this thing is up. It's updated every single month, right? So Cyrene, who was up throughout the entirety of the patch, was up for longer than a month. So keep that in mind. Are those revenue charts mobile only? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That doesn't include PC. Or console. I forgot there's also console, yeah. Is Cyrene considered a furry? Nah. I mean, yeah, exotic. Like, people need to understand, Hoyo keeps high 3 up. And, like, high 3 doesn't even make a fraction of, like, Honkai Star Rail or Genshin. And they still have high 3 up. They wouldn't EOS even if the games went down to like 5 million a month. Or less, maybe. Hello, Everly.
It's not late.
I mean, it's a thing of, is it worth it to keep up exotic? Because Hoyo isn't like most companies or games. Like, they are allocating resources towards maintaining high third that they could use for fucking Varaspura or their future fucking Unreal Engine game. Like, shit like that. Like, technically, it's probably a total loss for them if they keeping high third up. But they don't really care.
Let's not.
It's like an opportunity cost versus actual costing, in my opinion. Isn't High 3 super old? Yes. Those new games look bad? They really don't, man. The one that looks bad is that one mobile game. The other one that's like playing with pets or whatever, and it isn't characters. That one looks a lot more convenience based. I think Nexus Anima, right? That one. But Vara Spura, I'm not gonna lie, that shit looked incredibly fluid. I don't fuck with the art style that much, but just objectively speaking, those might be the most fluid animations I've ever seen in a gacha in my life. And this is how I know Hoyo just doesn't like they're constantly focused on making new games. And even if they do improve older ones, it's like, bro, they're on a never stopping train of making new and new games that are better and better. HSR makes more revenue because of the 75/25 and you can't buy sequences. I mean, even if that's true to an extent, it just doesn't matter. Especially not the Lycone banner. We've already had this topic on stream before. For one, probably 80 to 90% of people who play the game care more about a character than a Lycone. And then it's only 25% of people pulling on said Lycone banner that lose. And then an even smaller fraction of those people that lose who then spend money to guarantee the Lycone instead of just waiting for a rerun. And like Wuwa's sequence shop is a scam to begin with. You could go to S3 for most characters in Wuwa, and they won't match the jump of Eidolons for HSR characters. Like for example, Amos S0 to S2 is a 20% DPS jump. Like, my bad. Just 20%? Yeah. No, they're all 100% plus now, Jay. And some of them are larger. But like literally every single except for Inoxa, and except for Archer, every single DPS in 3.x from E0 to E2 basically gets twice as strong. But there are a few exceptions like Evernight E2 and Phanon E2 that are even larger than this. They're closer to like 2.5x. Oh yeah, Saber as well. Yeah, Aggie E1 is strong. Heisland's E1 is strong. There's a few characters where you don't even need E2. Like you just get E1, bam. I do think it's because you can buy sequences from the shop in Wuwa, so the higher jumps are at S3. Yeah, I agree, Alum. But like that's my point to Tactician, because he said, maybe it's because HSR doesn't have a sequence shop, but it's like the Wuwa copies are just way fucking weaker than HSR Eidolons in the first place, so the value isn't the same. Like I'm not even, yeah. If you got an S6 Cartethia, the jump would be equal, if not maybe even less, as compared to E0 to E2 Fae. Like that, people need to put it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Is losing on the Lycone banner lucky or unlucky? Oh, because it's a low chance? I mean, unlucky. For the agenda. HSR needs an Eidolon shop? I mean, I wouldn't complain if they added it. I'd fucking love it. I've talked about this over and over again, how badly I'd want something like that. But I just don't think it's gonna happen. Because, like, if we think about it, there's literally no use for Starlight anymore in HSR, aside from just converting it into limited pulls. So to give it something else of value would be nice. I'd even take it. I know there would be drama about it. I know people would complain about it. I don't care. I'd take it if the Eidolons were like 60 pulls worth of Starlight as compared to Wua's 45. Just because of how fucking valuable they are. On top of this, HSR has a larger hard pity. So
Let's not linger.
how strong is Herta's E2? It just makes her twice as strong, in all honesty. Like, it's a pretty simple one. Just twice as strong. Because she gets almost permanent uptime on the enhanced skills. And then also, she can let go of her enhanced skills without having max stacks on the enemies. So long as, if I remember correctly, you only need like 28 to take full advantage of her kit, so. Yeah, all like that is the only downside of Wua kinda, is that unless your name is Cart, because keep in mind, I compared Cart to Phanon earlier, but that's like the best case scenario. If you were to compare like current S0 to S3 Amy, or even S0 to S6 Amy, it's like you aren't really coming close to HSR copy levels. And I know the game has more power creep, right? I know it has more HP inflation, but also the base character in HSR is like automatically stronger than a Wua character, right? So for that reason, I value copies in HSR so much more than Wua. I'd have to put in a shit ton of work. Like, QU1, I think is actually, this is a pretty good example, right? Win sub DPS for another main DPS, and Anoxa is a win sub DPS for another main DPS. Even Anoxa, who has like some of the worst copies in the entirety of the game, from E0 to E6, becomes like, gets like a 2.5x to 3x jump, right, in his strength from base. QU1 gets less than 100% from S0 to S6. It's kind of sad. Like, my QU1 would lose in terms of a damage battle to like someone who knows how to play Cartethia or Zanny. And I'm talking S0. S0 Zanny and Cartethia versus my S6 QU1. And then Ameth and Luke 100% just beat QU1. Let's make the coolest character but make him a sub DPS. Yup. And then, get this, in 3.1, we release a doctor, right? We make the aura farming Wuxia character, Wuxia character, however you pronounce it. We make this character the support, And then we create a doctor who's the main DPS. How about that one? Keep in mind, I am like so confident. There are way more people who like Q Yuan than like Luke. I'll put my money on this shit. They would have made way more money making Q Yuan a main DPS. This game is so weird. I got told E2 Phanon is stronger than E6 Saber. That probably isn't wrong. Oh yeah, the Luke subreddit handled, you know, so-called doom posting, like people say, but it's not really doom posting. They handled the memes of Luke being behind Ameth better. But the thing is, like, okay, you can't blame a Q Yuan main, man. You really can't blame them for the doom posting they did. I'm sorry. This character was severely undercooked, and no one can say otherwise. He'll obviously get a little more value soon, because he'll get Sigrika. He's probably going to be best in slot for her. But, like, man, his damage is just trash. So many people wanted Q Yuan to basically be a Yuno. Is what they wanted. Like, his buffing doesn't really change anything for the teams. But his main DPS contribution. So, like, obviously people can run in main DPS. Is Luke a main DPS? Yeah. I love my S6 Yuno, I imagine. So many people think I hate Yuno, and they never understand, dude. I fucking hate her support value. But if you use her as like a main DPS, and even a solo DPS, because like obviously she's a healer, so healers who do main DPS damage are really effective for soloing. And you go into sequences, like, the potential's there for sure. The potential's there. I just hate her buffing, man. It's so trash. Like, how are you going to tell me that's the first limited heavy attack buffer in the game? There's 2 main DPSs in the next patch? Yeah. Peeb is similar to Yuno. Yeah, I was going to say I don't like Peeb because of Zanny's reliance. But when I think about it, that's not even Peeb's fault. That's because the devs made Zanny's kit the way they did. But yeah, I think Peeb is a pretty good example. Because really good buffing for Spectral Frazzle, but then also has her own main DPS. No, Yuno has another buff that gives an extra 40% damage amp. But the gimmick is a character on field needs to refresh a shield like 5 or 10 times, if I remember correctly, to take full advantage of the amp. And only Augusta has a gimmick like that in her kit. So Augusta gets 90% damage amp, while everybody else only gets her outro buff. And so she gets out-buffed by Mortefi. For anyone that isn't Augusta.
Let's not linger.
It's the blessing of the wand light thing in her kit. So obviously, if that had gone through, we would have finally gotten an upgrade over Mortefi. But because they locked it towards specifically Augusta, Mortefi is still a better heavy attack buffer than Yuno. Which I guess free to play W, but like not really, because there's a ton of other teams that are getting dedicated buffers better than the free to play version. And for some reason, it's only heavy attack that gets fucked over. Oh my goodness. S4 Uno gives everyone a shield. Yeah, but it doesn't refresh it for them, I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly, you still can't save it even with Uno sequences. Because you need to refresh it 10 times.
While the moon cycles, I remain the anchor.
Yep. It's only a one-time shield. And remember, you need to refresh this shield when you go into the character. Right? Like, that's when the Blessing of the Wand Light works. Is it over here? Yep. Okay, the receiving resonator gains 4% old damage amp for 10 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. Gaining new stacks resets the duration. This effect ends early if the receiving resonator is switched off field. So the S4 gives you 4% damage amp of the 40. Huge. I was under the impression S4 fixed that. Nope. Because you need to refresh it 10 times. And then I'll just show you guys Augusta's and where she refreshes the shield.
Power levels. Where my blade leads, triumph follows.
Is it not here? Where's the thing where it's probably here, no? Yep. When Augusta deals damage, she gains a shield equal to basically nothing of her HP. Okay, this doesn't actually really increase her survivability at all. This effect is unstackable. It triggers once every 0.5 seconds. Right? So, Augusta is the only character who can basically refresh a shield every 0.5 seconds. And she can do it over and over and over again, which builds up the 40% damage amp from Yuno's kit. Does DPS Yuno with Lene outdo Augusta? It's like the same thing, Gollum. They're like damn near the same strength, yeah. It's almost a 1-to-1. Augusta is better than Weewa though? Yep. With Augusta's ult, if you time it correctly between waves, like let's say you're on the small mob wave, right? Or even you're on the 3-cost wave, but you have the burning waves buff. With her ult, you can kill one, wave, and then the second wave will spawn. And you'll be able to get more slashes in the final attack off on it. Unlike a lot of other characters without time stop, it's all of their damage is instantly wasted. Like right then and there. Right? So that's why Augusta is pretty good for Weewa. If you time it wrong, then a new wave won't spawn. It depends. Oh yeah, Senku, it's understandable. But the thing is, right? Even with, okay, even with her giving specifically Augusta a 40% more damage amp and having higher personal damage in her sub DPS rotation, she is still only 20% better for the team as compared to Mort. So, if you make theoretically an Augusta level DPS, same rotation time, but they can't refresh a shield, I'm pretty sure the difference between Yuno and Mort is less than 10%. So this is my issue with Yuno. It isn't her main DPS, because obviously that's been proven at this point that it's pretty good. My problem with Yuno is as a heavy attack support, why do you exist? Okay? Genuinely, why do you even exist? It's like such a bait. I got Yuno as a main DPS with an A. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to listen to Yuno slander. Oh. Hey, she's got healing. She's got damage, you know what I'm saying? She sure as hell don't got buffing, though. Yuno doing a Ling Sha? It's more like a Hyacine, to be honest. Like, yeah, both are similar, but it's more like a Hyacine. Because, like, for example, Cassie is the only Remembrance character that benefits from all members of the team being healed, which makes Hyacine's low healing, but it being AoE and targeted towards Memo Sprites, actually strong for her ult charge. So the most comparable thing is probably Hyacine with Yuno. Because Hyacine can also be ran main DPS, by the way. That shit is real. I've seen a lot of main DPS Hyacine showcases. And she can obviously be used as a sub DPS for wheelchair with Tribi, which has already been established. Hyacine is cracked. I take that as a W. I think Hyacine is mid. And people overrate her so much because of her damage. You'll realize I hold the exact same sentiment towards Hyacine as I do Yuno. Coincidentally. Like, nobody's going to be using Hyacine in version 4. At all. Everybody fell for the damage bait. Unless, of course, like, obviously you'll use her in Remembrance characters. What I mean by that is you won't use her for likely any version 4 new teams and DPSs. Like, you will find more uses for Dan Heng PT, maybe even fucking Huohuo, than you will for what's it called? Hyacine in version 4. Gabi Maru community is where the greatest unemployed players gather. A. W? uh,
Let's not linger.
Alright, guys. I'm going to end the stream here. It should have been way shorter. I got taken away talking about shit. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. I'm going to finally eat some breakfast and peace.